An hour and a half and lost my concentration. What I wanted to say is, you guys are patting yourselves on the back, but you've strongly disappointed me. Uh, you referred my son. I came up there and pandered to get my son moved to Hardin Park. You referred him to the counselor for 4 months without notifying the parent at all, none so whatever. And then after you finally got him talking about the dialogue you wanted him to talk about, you called social services and made it out to be a concern where they stripped my son of my custody without any notice or anything one day at school, placed him in a foster family. 7 days later, I got my son moved to my sister's, and I illustrated to the courts that I was not doing anything wrong with my son. They said, well, you neglected his medical. And I said, well, I wrote a note to the coach, and the coach didn't have any concerns about it either. So, how did I neglect his medical? I informed everybody there was no procedure necessary. Even after he got an exam of the bruise, there was still no procedure done because there was no procedure necessary. And the judge turned it into me neglecting his medical. Well, anyhow, without notifying me for 4 months that you were referring my son to a counselor, and then now there is a psychiatry doctorate degree at Appalachian State where they'll be doing internships in our elementary and high schools to on our students. Are they not going to notify us? Are they just going to keep on harassing and badgering the children in our community so they can get degrees and come up with damning statements to get them on medication or displace them? Well, let me tell you something. For every one of you foster children, there's a loving family that couldn't fight off or fend off social services, and I feel for you and pray for your parents and pray for your parents to return into your life, because it is wrong the way social services is doing the human trafficking in the Watauga County area. It is wrong how the clinical social workers are trying to build an industry. I had to take 2 assessments, and both assessments come out with a different verdict. One said I was depressed, which I'm not. One said that I was a narcissist, which I do have a good outlook upon myself. And at the same breath, he said I was reclusive and antisocial. Well, I think coming up there and speaking at the board meeting, which I would have spoken in front of everybody that was attending, I am not antisocial. I am not depressed. And I do have a good outlook upon myself because I am somebody that can respect other people and respect myself. I do not live in a down demeanor. You might throw stuff on me to try to quench my demeanor, but you have not the ability to quench the spirit God has installed upon me. Thank God through Jesus Christ. Thank God, my everlasting soul. And that's a little bit more of what I wanted to say than what I got conveyed, because, I waited an hour and a half. I lost my train of thought. I was ready to go in front of everybody. And I still am ready to go in front of everybody, but, you guys just want to troll and heckle somebody, and I'm not trolling and heckling. I am raising concerns because this is not the proper way for the system to work. If it was the proper way, we wouldn't be having these chronic shootings across this nation. We wouldn't have this demeanor throughout this nation. We wouldn't have people enslaved to the academics industry in this nation. We are not allowed to abstain from coming to class, we have to sit here all winter. Hopefully you got school all the way from November all the way to the end of February. We have to sit here and hopefully you have class. This year we didn't have very many snow days, but I would have still liked to have been in the Bahamas with my child, or to Florida, or traveling, or doing anything other than waiting for teacher work days to end and holidays to end and snow days to end. We don't want to have a sporadic regimen. I'd rather have a summer school program. That way, when we want to go somewhere in the wintertime, when it's not palatable around here, we can go. No, I don't want to leave this mountain in the summertime. That's ignorant to assume that we need to take a vacation from our home in the summertime where it's pleasant. Anyhow, I'm getting long-winded. I'm going to post this because I said what I wanted to say. How much harassment and badgering of the students are the parents of this community going to allow? How much industry building is the academics going to be allowed? They make $55,000 per teacher. Well, how about the people that put their life on the line? The Boone PD can't even recruit officers because they don't have a livable wage. And the citizens in the community don't have a livable wage. $725, $750 is not a livable wage. $3,800 is not going to sustain. $38,000 is not going to sustain an officer with a mortgage and a vehicle payment and children and a wife. It's not going to do it. But the teachers think